course, this first round, you get to see all the contenders, all the rookies, all the champs.
Well, already I think performance-wise, we're starting to see some separation from last year's top 10. They're surfing beautifully. Joel Parkinson was one of those competitors. He finished in 9th place last year, the veteran. How many more years is he going to go around? We don't know, but at the moment he's focused on this heat, and he's up against Italo Ferreira and Joan Duru.
And this is off the hooter, Joel Parkinson.
Wow.
Beautiful first snap there. And of course, this being his backyard, he would know which waves to choose. They're going to give him the best opportunity and scoring potential. And look at this wave just glide down the bank. Perfectly chosen. Got the first outside move, and then just, you know, you mentioned the syrup in the eyes. Well, this one is, he's got that syrupy on the wave. So smooth. And look, another section through to the inside again. So Joel, what a start, like right off the hooter.
A lot of talk about and focus on Mick Fanning, Kelly Slater as the veterans making a run at a world title, but this guy has lost nothing. Have a look at the combination of just beautiful rail turns and major maneuvers on this ride.
So true. You know, this drone shot gives you a bit of an understanding of how groomed this sand is. You see the gold coloring. It's just a perfect straight line all the way from the outside to the inside.
It always blew my mind, Pete, just how stylish and easy on the eye Joel's attack was.
Yeah, and we always talked about how easy he made it look, almost too easy. But I mean, the technique is impeccable. Just see how he rotates, his arm placement, and all of that creates that smooth arc. You know, everything follows at the same speed. He's not whipping an arm forward or back. It's all in one clean motion. And that's where that syrupy look feel and where it comes from.
One of the most exciting surfers on the tour out there in the blue jersey is Italo Ferreira. And Italo grew up surfing right-hand point break. And we saw him put it to good use here in the past. So this is definitely one of those events that Italo will have earmarked for a huge result.
On Earth. Are there going to be shorter interval? And it's going to have that kind of wind swell feel to it. So he's going to really understand the wave and how it goes down the point.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he made the finals here this year, if not this year, in the future, Italo. But he really has established himself as one of those top-end surfers. He made a big slip down the rankings after his rookie season, and if he can bring some of those moves to the championship tour in 2017, we're in for a show. Here's Joel Parkinson looking for a good backup score. Had a 9.23 on his opening ride, and Parko definitely looking invigorated in 2017.
Must be nice having your first event in your home, you know, to start a year off. Keep those nerves nice and low.
Joel's still bashing away at the pocket of this wave, and it really is just a pocket. There's not a lot of face there to work with, and he's just able to pivot on that incredible bottom turn and keep adding some points down the line there. But amazing, as you said, with Joel.
Just this nice, huge carve into, you know, a rebound on a cutback and then straight into a big air reverse. This is the replay here. This one, a little steeper on the face, a little smaller wave, so he was able to connect with the lip 3 times. You know, a lot different than what we saw from the first wave. Comes in a bit lower in the score range, but I like how he drifted the fins and again picked a wave that he was able to kind of connect on the outside, stayed with it. And again, right, you know, he has no harm, no foul riding this thing all the way till the bitter end because he's got a ski to get him right back out.
He milked this wave dry on the inside there. To get some scoring opportunity on that section of water was very difficult. Foam on the face, couple of lumps and bumps, and Joel just pivoting off the bottom and keeping those turns so tight and critical.
So true, and there's that 3-turn combo on the outside, actually adds a 4th. Gets that nice punch to the lip. Not a ton of spray, but you know, when he gets that fin release, a lot of times you'll feel like your board could kind of get stuck or anything like that, but Joel does so well to keep the weight kind of over the front foot.
But I think he's going to be the man to beat in this contest. He is just so alive when he gets up on his feet. Here we go, Joan Duru. There's some of that backhand punch that we were talking about earlier on from the rookie. And this has already been the best wave we've seen from any of the new recruits.
He heard you.
I like it. This guy is so unassuming, really quiet, just walks around with a sort of a slight smile on his face. You don't get much out of him.
Out of the rookie class, well, Joan, he's obviously got something there. He's a rock-solid surfer, you know, coming out of France and the southern France there, and he's just so solid. It's crazy how good he is on the backhand. So he could press really hard right now. Italo, he's even on animal, obviously. Look at him just slicing, dicing through these waves. He's got so much game in such a short amount of time. To watch him, the way he attacks waves is really fun, but a little choppy at the moment to me. He needs to draw it out a bit. I think that Joan has a little bit more flow on the waves out here right now. And obviously, Parko rolled out of bed this morning into the best wave of the warm-up session.
Identifying that quality wave on those different tides when it's switching around is really challenging, because it can be difficult to find those clean open walls. But this is that wave we were talking about. Very committed, 3 distinctly different backhand snaps. And even that one there was a little bit different. And then that arc. And just, you know, this is 6 turns, 7 strong maneuvers on this wave.
I loved it. I love how critical he was, but as he was coming down out of the lip in that tight pocket, he was able to find that hillside rail, get back on a nice line back into the pocket once again. So a big score falling for Duru as we see Italo up once more. This is the replay of his last ride.
Yeah, so you can kind of just do the comparison here. You know, different approaches. You know, and Strider mentioned a little more choppy. You know, not the linkage that we saw from Joan, and it'll affect its score. You'll see the judge is going to take note on that. You know, and it'll probably show up a point and a half below this.
Very different waves though, weren't they?
Yeah.
Joan's wave really reeled off, and then we had Joel Parkinson out the back.
Surprising, right? And just a quick little in and out for him. He saw down the line. That's one of the things that the tide gets lower. You'll see that those waves behind the rock will give you that kind of quick barrel, but don't necessarily give you the inside connection.
Here is the Frenchman once again. Explosive first turn. This wave has a sleepy midsection, but starting to line up once again. So the rookie, with less experience in this lineup, is doing a good job getting himself on some nice running walls at the moment, and he can take the lead. He needs an 8.34. This wave just filling up a little bit through the inside. He's not giving up on it, wants to add some extras. He's going to reel off once more. And he is really letting go of some clean backhand hits. 77 kilos to huck into the lip. As we see Italo planning a nice floater there. Let's see if we can find some steeper wall to work with. Explodes out of the lip. Just gets hung up for a moment, recovering though. He'll need to find some better flow through this inside. He's not able to do it. As we see Joel Parkinson eyeing something off once again, using his priority here. And he's got a good looking first section to work with. Nice transition turn into a neat floater. Whips his board vertically for a moment, carves right in Italo's face. Bringing this one through to the inside, trying to get rid of a 7.17 to press further ahead here. And Parko just pacing himself. Swings the tail around for a moment, and he's going to ride over a little double up here and try and finish with something big. He's going to go to it. A nice reverse. He'll ride out.
That was sick. I mean, that seriously, every single turn was different. Talk about variety. And again, he picks this wave up off the point, so he sees it was going to be loaded up. There was the kind of down carve floater combo, straight up, and then he's able to do the carve, and then he has to wait, you know, which, you know, what do you do here? You can't, it's not like you can find maneuvers there in the kind of the mushy section, but he saw that there was potential down the line.
So much time in this lineup. You just get the feeling guys like Joel and Mick have surfed a wave just like this 100 times before, and he knows exactly what move he's going to go to. There's no indecision, and he just paced himself beautifully to this end section.
You know, and he could have easily gone too big right there, but he's like, you know what? I'm going to make sure I make this. You know, it's just high enough to be really fairly critical.
That was just a first up observation.
Yeah,
but
I kind of liked the way it looked. But
it looked really good on his first wave, and then everything after that just, I don't know, wasn't working. But here goes Joel Parkinson once again. So good at finding that barrel from the outset. And he's looking to get rid of a 7.17. If he can finish this wave off well, he might just do that. Just cruising, as always, through to the inside. Just such a strong effort in his first heat of the year. This one's coming to a close. Paco is looking good for the win. But behind him, Joan Duru. Joan's so well before the buzzer. The Frenchman took this ride, again showing great form, and just a series of backhand floats here, and then getting critical, but can't ride out of that last manoeuvre, and he might have been banking on the peak.
Buzzer to buzzer. He even picked one up right off the hooter and picked one up right at the end. Let's watch the replay here. So there was some action on the outside here for Joan. Two nice arcs. This is where that section gets a little flat, so you see kind of weaves it back. And you can see the crease kind of come up underneath. You know, with this lower tide, we're going to see that kind of separation of those two sections, but it really loads up on the inside here. And this was, he could have almost probably figured out the score had he been able to kind of connect with that last move and hold it down and completed the wave. I mean, that was a critical backhand snap, but it just vanished. As you watch Parco, there's that hunting the barrel straight into it. Thousands of times he's done that. Straight out into the huge arc with that technique. He gets that arm, his distinct arm, his front arm kind of goes up rather than kind of to the side, keeping it, you know, up shoulder height. I think that allows him to kind of open up. You can check that water angle here, but reading it perfectly right underneath, right before the lip was going to tag him in the head, ducked underneath.
It always amazes me how much time someone like Joel has in that tricky section. He just made that slight adjustment, not to go straight into the barrel, but to drive around that tricky little first section, come up through that chandelier, easily find the exit. His heat score total here, they look good, the numbers. 7.63 for Parkinson. A very convincing round one win.